Sam, I will guarantee that the Broncos lose tonight. I'll turn it around. I'll be positive that the Chiefs beat the Broncos because I cannot see a way that does not happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue. That Denver defense has been catastrophic. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs, so there's very little reason to think that Denver could spring some kind of upset. But we've all been doing this long enough to know, it's a division game. Weird things happen. The ball can bounce in a funny direction, but it's going to take something like that, right? It's going to take a couple of weird plays that go in their direction. I mean, the Miami game, I think, is a pretty solid indicator of where this defense is. And the Chiefs might not be quite where they've been in terms of offensive production in previous years, but they're probably closer to Miami than most teams Denver is going to run up against.
And by the way, you should listen to Sam and Steve Palazzolo's podcast, the PFF podcast, every week. I listen to it every week here as well. And Sam and Steve and everyone there, the great PFF staff, do a deeper dive on the numbers that maybe you don't think about when you're just playing fantasy here. So Sam, with that in mind, please tell everyone what the numbers tell us about, forget about the 70 points, but big picture, just how bad the Denver defense has been.
Genuinely historically bad. I mean, they're the worst defense in the NFL by a considerable margin in almost any statistic you look at, whether it's EPA per play, whether it's, successful play rate, touchdown drives, all these kinds of things. It is terrible. I was telling you before we went on, they've almost given up more rushing yardage in 5 games than the 2000 Ravens did in a 16-game season. It's like 970 versus 940, something like that. This defense has been catastrophic to the point where nobody's really noticing that Russell Wilson actually looks a hell of a lot better this year than he did last season because it's not making enough of a difference.
Okay, what do the numbers tell us about Russell Wilson?
I think it's a combination of the numbers and that fabled eye test that everybody loves, right? The numbers are better. He's got more big-time throws. He's a little bit more efficient. His grade is better. And I think he looks visibly more athletic. He looks he's moving better. He's running with the ball better. He looks more dangerous when he's got the ball out in space than he did a year ago. This idea of him, losing weight, slimming down, trying to get back to the player he once was, I think that's making a difference. And, the Denver offense has quietly been okay. It's just that the defense is taking a huge step backwards.
Sam, what do the analytics tell us about Travis Kelce's performance since the news of his relationship with Taylor Swift became public?
I don't know that there's a tremendous correlation there between the impact of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's performance on the field.
Okay, but what about the Chiefs in general? Because there is this idea, that she is dragging the Chiefs down. Is there legitimate analytic proof? Does the data prove that the Chiefs' performance is in any way affected by Taylor Swift?
I mean, in a 2-game sample size of football, the data is not going to prove anything. So even if there was a correlation, which there isn't.
It's actually 3. It's 3.
Okay.
It was the win at Arrowhead over the Bears, the Sunday night game in New York, and then last week. Although, do we include last week? I mean, she wasn't there. Poll the audience. Anybody?
Not there.
Man, you guys couldn't be less interested.
Her shadow is there.
Okay.
Not there. Not a
shadow.
Tonight, though, so that's some interesting on-off splits.
Okay. Well, Jimmy Trania from SI just tweeted, just spoke to Al Michaels about how TNF will handle Taylor being at the game tonight. His answer will be in today's column that Jimmy's going to tweet later. However, I asked him if he had a favorite Taylor Swift song, and after a long pause, Al said, quote, not necessarily. Just curious, what's Kirk Herbstreit's favorite song?
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.